نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. 1 1/4 para was recited today. We started from the third juz, completed Surah Al-Baqarah, started the fourth juz, meaning Surah Ali Imran. More than half was recited, the third surah of the Quran, and we stopped at the first quarter of the fourth juz. I'm going to take one ayat from yesterday's recitation, and then a few ayats from today's recitation. In the second juz in Surah Al-Baqarah, in ayah number 219, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْخَمْرِ وَالْمَيْسِرِ. More or less meaning in English, O Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they ask you about wine and gambling. That drinking wine and gambling, is it halal for us? Qul, reply to them, inform them, فِيهِمَا إِثْمٌ كَبِيرٌ. In both, meaning wine and gambling, there is a great sin. وَمَنَافِعُ لِلنَّاسِ, and some benefits for people. So there is a sin in it also, and there are benefits for people also. Now this is something important to understand. One item has sin also, and apparently has some benefits also. Then Allah says, وَإِسْمُهُمَا أَكْبَرُ مِن نَفْعِهِمَا, and their sin is greater than their benefit. So what does it tell us? Though there is benefit in gambling, apparently, though there might be benefits in drinking, but the harm is much more than the benefit. So if the harm and the loss and the disobedience is more, then Allah makes it haram. Then Allah makes it impermissible. Okay? For example, you would have heard the legend of Robin Hood. You would have studied it in school. He used to live in Sherwood Forest, and he used to rob the rich and give it to the poor. Does Islam allow this? No. Why doesn't Islam allow this? One is to do something good. If you are doing something good, the means used to perform that good should also be halal. To use haram means to do something good is not accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Few years back, an elderly alim in Chicago informed us that a Muslim used to tell him, I gamble. The reason I gamble is that if I win, I will make up a masjid from that millions of dollars. So is this halal to do? No, he has good intention, but he is using the haram way to fulfill that good intention. So this is what Allah is telling us here. There would be benefit also. There will be harm also. But since the harm is greater, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made that thing haram. Coming on the third juz, again it's Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 261 and the following 2-3 ayats. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. The example of those who spend in the way of Allah, in the path of Allah, كَمَثَلِ حَبَّةٍ أَنْبَتَتْ سَبْعَ سَنَابِلٍ, is just like a grain that produced 7 years. فِي كُلِّ سُنْبَلَةٍ مِئَةُ حَبَّةٍ, each ear having 100 grains. وَاللَّهُ يُضَاعِفُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ, and Allah multiplies the reward for whom He wills. وَاللَّهُ وَاسِعٌ عَلِيمٌ, Allah is all embracing, all knowing. So it's like 7 years, and in every ear there are 100 grains. So 7 multiplied by 100 is how much? 700. So the minimum reward of spending in the path of Allah, whether a battlefield, building a masjid, building a madrasa, the minimum reward is 700 times. And Allah can increase it as much as He wants. This is what we learn in this ayah. The next ayah, الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, those who spend their wealth in the path of Allah, ثُمَّ لَا يُتْبِعُونَ مَا أَنْفَقُوا مَنًّا وَلَا أَذَى, and then do not make their spending followed by boasting about the favor or causing hurt to the person. لَهُمْ أَجْرُهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ, they have the reward with their Lord. وَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ, and there is no fear for them on the day of judgment, nor shall they grieve regarding anything of the past. What does it tell us? When we do ihsan on someone, when we favor someone, we spend money on someone, we should not boast in the future. You remember, I sponsored you for the green card, and you are living in the US because I was a reason of your sponsor. This is boasting, जिसको उर्दू में कहते हैं एहसान को जतलाना. तुम्हें कौन लाया इस मुल्क में, मेरी वजह से आए हो. Na'uzubillah, none of us came because of ourselves. Allah brought us here. And Allah gave us the capacity to sponsor someone so he and she can be here. Imagine if somebody tells me, my mom or my uncle sponsored me, for example. He tells me, he texts me once every month, you know, I sponsored you. Okay? How would I feel? So how dare we say to someone, I brought you here. Okay? If sure Allah gave us the capacity to sponsor someone, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are getting the reward, lahum ajruhum inda rabbihim. We are getting the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By jatlane se, by boasting, we are draining all the reward in the drain. We will get nothing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sure, those whom you sponsored should at least remember the ihsan. That is their right, that is their responsibility. But you don't have to remind them to remember your ihsan on them, your favor on them. Otherwise, we will lose our own reward. So this is the meaning of boasting and hurt. Now we put them under pressure. We tell them, no, do this, don't do this, live here, don't live there. No. We did ihsan for the sake of Allah. If we are doing ihsan so we can pressurize them in the future, then this is not ihsan, we are not getting any reward, but rather we getting a sin for causing pain and suffering to them. Then Allah says, قَوْلٌ مَعْرُوفٌ وَمَغْفِرَةٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن صَدَقَةٍ يَتْبَعُهَا أَذًى. If we boast and we cause pain, a graceful word and forgiving is better than charity followed by causing hurt. It's better we don't give any charity. It's better we don't sponsor them. It's rather to say, forgive me, I cannot help you. This is much better than sponsoring someone, helping someone, giving some money to someone, and then boasting in the future. माजरत कर लेना, दो अच्छे बोल देना अल्लाह की निगाह में बेहतर है बनिस्बत इसके कि गरीब को पैसे देना या किसी की मदद करना फिर बाद में जतलाना. ये अल्लाह पाक फरमा रहे हैं यहाँ पे. Then Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tubtilu sadaqatikum bil manni wal adha. O who you believe, do not nullify your acts of charity by boasting about a favor and by causing the people hurt. Kalladhi yunfiqu malahu ri'a an-nas. Example, like the one who spends his wealth to show off to the people. وَلَا يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. And he does not believe in Allah and the last day. What's the example of spending money or helping someone for show off? Allah gives the example. فَمَثَلُهُ كَمَثَلِ صَفْوَانٍ عَلَيْهِ تُرَابٍ. So his example is like a rock on which there is dust. فَأَصَابَهُ وَابِلٌ. Then a heavy rain came over it. فَتَرَكَهُ صَلْدًا. And left it barren. If you plant a seed on soft earth, no matter how much rain comes, that plant will stay intact. But if there is a rock and on top of the rock you put some potting soil or some dust is there, and then rain comes slowly, the seed will sprout and maybe a plant will grow. But once heavy rain comes, it will wash away all dust and potting soil because the base is hard, it's like a rock. So this is the example of giving charity for the sake of showing off to people. It gets washed. There is no reward in the hereafter for it. And what is show off? Show off means three things. By doing some favor to someone or by giving charity in the path of Allah, we are hoping for a physical benefit, for a monetary benefit, or for a benefit related to honor and izzat. Show off क्या है, दिखलावा क्या है, जानी फ़ायदा उठाने की नीयत करना, माली फ़ायदा उठाने की नीयत करना और जाही फ़ायदा उठाने की नीयत करना. जाह किसको कहते हैं? सामने वाला मेरी इज्जत करे, सामने वाला जब देखे मुझे सलाम करे, सामने वाला उठ के मुझसे मिले चूँकि मैंने उसकी मदद की है. ये जाही तकाज़ा है. तो अगर इन तीन तकाज़ों में से कोई भी नीयत हमने कर ली किसी की मदद करते हुए, तो वो फिर अल्लाह के लिए नहीं हुई, वो फिर उस दिखलावे के लिए हो गई, उसका कोई सवाब नहीं मिलेगा. If we have any intention that the reason I am helping this person is so he can benefit me physically, financially, or from an honor perspective that he should honor me in the future. Whenever he sees me, he should stand up and shake hands with me. If any one of these three intentions come, then we are not doing this good for the sake of Allah, we are doing it for show off. And this is the example of it. We won't get anything in the hereafter. That's why the ulama say we should check the intention at the beginning of the action, in the middle of the action, and at the end of the action. Even if we started for show off because of shaitan, at the end if we can rectify our intention and make it for the sake of Allah, Allah will still accept the reward and give us the full reward of it. So that's why whether it's salah, whether it's fasting, whether it's charity, or whatever good deed we do, we make sure we do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever was said and heard, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding of these things. Ameen. Subhanallah wa bihamdih, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.